This next song video is by Lovely Wee-In from Mamamoo. The Symphony of Fxxkboys. I don't know how saucy this is going to get, but we're going to find out. Shall we? Here we go.
It took a lot of nice talk, babe. Heard it's always colder than an icebox, babe. 7 in the morning and he's out the door till he gets real bored and he's back for more. Why are they like this? And why do they fake it? Boys like you think you're so handsome.
Wow.
You talk a lot of sweet things. Poison what you put your hands on, but pretty is to say them. I'll let you into my home. I'll let you under my clouds. Now all I hear is your anthem, the symphony of Fxxkboys. The symphony of Fxxkboys. Say they usually don't feel like this. Never really felt for someone quite this quick. Calling me a stranger ain't no wonder why. When it's watching me through the devil eyes. And why are they like this? And why do they fake it? Boys like you think you're so handsome. You talk a lot of sweet things. Poison what you put your hands on, but pretty is to say them. I'll let you into my home. I'll let you under my clouds. Now all I hear is your anthem, the symphony of Fxxkboys. The symphony of Fxxkboys. Bye, bye, bye to the Romeo of lies. So persuading, swear you're changing. Bye, 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 I am wasting no more time on this off-key, ugly serenade. Boys like you think you're so handsome. You talk a lot of sweet things. Poison what you put your hands on, but pretty is to say them. I'll let you into my home. I'll let you under my clouds. Now all I hear is your anthem, the symphony of Fxxkboys. The symphony of Fxxkboys. The symphony of Fxxkboys.
Wow. Interesting. Oh, damn, that's interesting. What do you see? Don't say chips. What's important? What is significant about this shot? One unbroken chip. Significant. Yep. See, Zane, it's interesting that you went that direction, right? Interesting. Of course, Mrs. Tater would say, I want that chip. Perfect. Well done. The aftermath, yes, I think is part of it as well. Broken, but there's still hope. Nicely done. Chips in different condition. True. Yep. Survived all the trauma. Hope. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, that's great. I love that they did it after this, too. Now, as a director, I do have to say, I would reshoot this shot. Because even though we have shifted the focal plane to this one unbroken chip, we have to bypass this one other unbroken chip. Henry. Hey, Henry. The shot was supposed to be one unbroken chip. One. Not one we pass by, and then there's another one. I wanted you to step on the chips, except for one. Thank you, Henry. Oh, man. Probably fell out of his mouth when he's filming. Zane, don't let him get you, buddy. All right, we need to... Okay, this is actually kind of fun. Twitch, don't do it. Damn it, Twitch. What is happening? What is the problem? We'll just pause. Hang tight. I think it's coming back. I have no idea, though. It's crazy. I think if we get one more full drop tonight, I'm going to make a quick change. I'm going to change servers that I'm attached to. It might be coming now. And then we'll try again. Maybe it's the server. All right. Let me know if we're back or are we not back? Because I don't know. Okay. It should be good right now. Give it a second to kind of like fix itself. We'll go from there. Thank you, Zeno. Thank you, buddy. Test that out. See if that's running again. Yeah. It's a bit potato, but working. Okay. Okay. I think we're clean right now. If we drop again, I'm going to bring the stream down for 15 seconds, bring it back up. Okay? Which is pretty much what you're experiencing anyway, but I'll just kind of reconnect, if you will. Okay. Let's refocus, shall we? Okay, put on your director hats. What about this shot? This is actually kind of fun. I like this. What's this shot represent? What are your thoughts? Movie night? Okay. We still hurting? Endless potential. Okay. A monument of chip. Coping with chips. Like eating our feelings, you thinking? Too many chips and no dip. Expensive. Gluttonous desire. Good one. Trigger. Movie with snacks. Is it bag of potato chips? It is all the bags of potato chips. A mountain of impossible choice. However, it's pretty much one type of chip. Child surviving on her own. Oh, interesting. Trauma and the mountain that he or she has to climb. Too much to handle. Very interesting. How small you feel compared to the amount of emotions you feel. It's giving a kid wanting the chips but can't because a parent said no. It's the wanting and longing from a young age. Wanting what isn't good for you, prioritizing the bad things that feel good. Ooh, interesting. You got some good answers here. You got some real good answers. I like this. Yeah, Angel, emotional eating. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yep. Sometimes we say eating our feelings. Mm-hmm. Simple overload of everything going on in your head and heart. So, I think there's a lot of those pieces in this shot. I think the fact that she's young and sitting here like a child is significant. Obviously, it's not her now, it's her as a child. So to me, this is not just a representation of, it could be eating our feelings. It could be the feeling of plain, like just being plain, because you notice they're just very classic plain chips. And just this overwhelming feeling of just being average and not good enough or whatever. The gluttony and the desire is interesting. I do think the mountain of someone who's young at a young age, like surviving something or experiencing things that are traumatic and then having to navigate that mountain of trauma, if you will. I think that's good too. A lot of real good pieces. Yep. When we first were shown the shot, I thought it was looking like a person, but looking down on her. Very nice touch. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, that's a good one, Sarah. I like that. It's like when you go to the store when you're hungry and end up getting all the junk instead of what you really need for nourishment. That's a great one. So it's like we know it's poison, but we still choose that even though we know what it does to us. Right? And the fact that she's young, Jake saying, hasn't learned yet what's tasty isn't always good for us. Okay? Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so let me ask you this next question. The song title. Now that we've seen the video, we've read the lyrics, heard the song. What do you think the title is essentially referring to? If you had to kind of put it into a couple words. This is great. I'll just have you do the work. Almost like addiction, yeah. Mm-hmm. I do want to come back to this cat here because I think the dynamic here is kind of interesting between the two of them. Trauma or feeling broken. Some of y'all got triggered by those wet socks, too. A symphony, you need a full orchestra, so all the Fxxkboys in her life of all kinds. Tiny violin for internalized trauma. Wow, look at that. So, check this out. Obviously, I'm going to say this is kind of now. Okay? I think. It could be former, could be her raising herself. It could be a representation of the fact that it's her now, but this is what it does to her. Right? It makes her kind of regress. And this is what her life becomes. Symphony implies a full orchestra, so my thought was sing all the same tune just in different notes or with different instruments. Okay. The direction that I went with the symphony aspect was that it's complex. There's a lot of moving parts, and it's kind of a pattern. You look at the sheet music, and obviously, like, pattern is it's tricky. But you look at the sheet music, and you can kind of know, okay, there's going to be the first verse, it's going to be the chorus, it's going to be this, it's going to have this crescendo, and it's going to crash. I could see that too, because lyrically,
Why are they like this and why?
she repeats the same things that she's talking about the same things that she hears repeated time and time again. So it becomes kind of reciprocal, or not reciprocal, cyclical.
Why do they fake it? Boys like you think you're so handsome. You talk a lot of sweet things. Poison what you put your hands on. But pretty is to say them.
You're welcome. Okay, so next question. This one's going to be a little harder. According to this video, where do they come in?
All I hear is your
I don't think this is a right or wrong answer kind of thing. What were your thoughts when you were watching it? Where do they come in? How do they fit into the story, do you think? Yeah, it's definitely not a feel-good song for sure, but I do feel like it's one of those things that, you know, it's like it introduces things for us to discuss. Same situation, different gender, okay? Fxxkboys has to learn it from somewhere. Physical representation of the damage it makes. Not only women and females suffer because of toxic males, they are just as broken as she is. Interesting. Different viewpoint of the same thing. Maybe toxic masculinity. Boys are victims of the same stupid system. So let's examine this a little bit. We cut to this scene coming up.
Let's
see. Here.
Why do they fake it? Boys like you think you're so handsome. You talk a lot of sweet things. Poison what you put your hands on. But pretty is to say them. I'll let you into my home.
Now, to me, this guy here is the very clear villain of the scene, not necessarily the video, but of the scene. I don't know if we can say that he is necessarily one of the Fxxkboys, right? I mean, and some of you are literally saying the same thing I am, which is he could also be a victim, right? Now, I don't know if that's necessarily where they're going, because the song is not the symphony of Fxxk people, but maybe it's also in a generalized term. I don't know. There's also several different stories happening here.
Never really felt for someone quite this quick. Calling me a stranger, no wonder why.
Wait a second.
Say they usually don't feel like this. Never really felt for this and why? Why do they fake it? Boys like you think you're so handsome. You talk a lot of sweet things. You think you're so handsome. You talk a lot of sweet and poison what you put your hands on. But pretty is to save it. I'll let you into my heart. I'll let you under my clouds. Now all I hear is your anthem. The symphony of Fxxkboys. The symphony of Fxxkboys. The symphony of Fxxkboys.
You know what I almost think? I almost think, oh man, okay, I'm gonna do my best to articulate this. In my opinion, my theory about this is that it's not really just the wave tops of just how Fxxkboys do what they do and they hurt people. I think it's deeper than that, where yes, that's what she's kind of referring to, but it's the culture that creates that, and then what that action perpetuates across people. How the manipulation, the lying kind of is a ripple that affects more than just the person that the Fxxkboy is affecting. It's bigger than that. And I'm still not sure if the young girl is a representation of someone who's younger and how they got to where they are now and how they cope with things, or if she is the age that she is in the video and she's raising herself because her guardian, whoever it may be, has chosen to be selfish, or they are addicted to whatever, the poison, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Someone who doesn't care for others, emotional care is not present, and hurts others. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of like, that's what I'm trying to understand, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like everything that's shown is really, really deep. And I would be surprised if that depth is coincidental, given the fact that it's just about fuckboys. You know what I mean? Like, this seems deeper than that. Yeah. And that's a good point. Like, this is pretty much the same thing as the chips. This is the human side of it, but then there's the chips, and she's the one unbroken chip. She's the last chip standing. Maybe their combined bad experiences is the symphony. I like that. I like that. Could also be showing both sides, how it started, how they became that way, and now how it affects how they interact with others. That I think is interesting too, is that seeing both sides of the coin. And it's easy to, I mean, obviously it's human nature. But you know, it's easy to just to villainize people and just all this blah, 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 and then rabble, right? But sometimes we have to kind of like look deeper and figure, okay, well, how did they get to this? And even if it doesn't absolve that person of the bad that they have done and the people that they've hurt, but it helps us historically understand what leads to that, so we can try to help others that might be affected now, as well as ideally possibly mitigate or prevent it in the future, right? So when we're asking questions like, okay, well, this guy's a fuckboy, like, how did he get to that point? What makes him this way? We're not trying to absolve him. We're trying to understand it so that we can help to solve it, help to mitigate it. Yeah. Oh, see, Bella, that's kind of what I was going for. It's also a heavily simplified term of a complex system of care, lack of care, being able to see others as people versus objects and wanting to do different versus not. Yeah, that's very well put. Yeah. Group therapy. Mm-hmm. Hurt people hurt people. Yeah. And if you think about it, like, let's be real. As many times as all of us have heard or said that exact thing, hurt people hurt people. And it's true. How many of us walking around have not been hurt, right? So what do? We hurt people. We may not intend to. Sometimes it just happens. Well, it just kind of comes with the territory of being people around other people and being involved with people and interacting with people. It just kind of happens. So we just try to do the best we can and mitigate the damage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whew, that was a deep one. Ooh, we went deep.